Hello, welcome to the ReCap. The ReCap is my online podcast where I explain for students all across the Caribbean mechanisms of English A and English B. In other words, I am helping to demystify English for students across the Caribbean. You're with me, Jamain Hatton, and on this edition of the Recap, we are looking at formal writing, particularly letter and email writing. Today is the 22nd day of April in the year 2019, just a few days until the 2019 CSEC English A and B exams. I hope your preparations are coming just well. Now, I know many of you listen to my videos, but you have never liked or even subscribed or give me a comment on the page. Come on, stop right here, right now. Go to any video you wish, or this video, just like, subscribe, or just simply say hi in the comment section. It's good to hear from you all. So go on, give me that feedback, alright? Thank you very much. We have all written a letter at some point in our life. Whether it was a simple letter to a friend of ours inviting him or her to our birthday party, or a little note we wrote to the little girl at the back of the class that we liked so badly secretly, or a simple letter apologizing to your teacher for not coming to school or being late for school, we have all written a letter at some point in time. The letter we are writing in the CSEC English exam is no different. Yes, it might sound so important, like business letter. All you're doing is just doing some tweaks to your language as well as your tweaks to your format, and you're getting the same letter that you have been written all the time, that you have been writing all the time. So the letter that we are talking about today is no different than the ones you have looked at before. The letter writing is probably the oldest way of communication known to the world. Today we use a more common aspect of the letter writing, which is known as email writing. Now, an email is pretty much the same thing as your letter writing. I want to let you all remember that. So, if you're in the exam and you've only done letter writing, just bear in mind that the email is pretty much the same thing. Just a little tweaking to the letter to get the email. But it is pretty much the same thing. So, like you've heard already, the business letter requires a high degree of formality. Formality in the sense that we cannot use things like isn't, aren't, can't, and other contractions in our formal writing. It requires a high degree of formality, so you have to write those out. Is not, cannot, are not, and so on. Don't write contractions. If you cannot write contractions, then you cannot use your BRB, be right back, or other things that young people use. No what's up or what's up or things like that. Just high degree of formality. Get to the point, stay with that point, and just relax. Nothing else after that. So there are formats we can use, such as the block format. The block format is, I'm quite sure, the ones that teachers do teach in school, but I like the traditional indented format, and that is what I'm going to teach you today. So the letter writing involves starting with the sender's information, so there's the sender's address, and you have to have that date. Date. Then you have the receiver's information, such as the name, address, and then your opening. Your reference line, I often tell people to put the reference line just after the opening. Go in, write RE, meaning reference, and then you underline that brief information as to what the letter is actually about. Then you have your opening paragraph, which is your introduction, and then you get into the body of the letter, then you have your complimentary close. We will examine these further now. And now this is what a typical email looks like. You have to have your addresses. So you're using your email address here. So you will start your email, your standard email, by having a from address. That is a person who's sending the email. So you, if you're writing the email, your address will go there. Just write anything, really. It's not so serious. So don't think of a long and hard thing in the exam. Oh, what's my email again? I forgot my email. Just write anything. It really doesn't matter. CXC would not send you an email. So you don't have to get the email address right. All right? Good job. And then you're putting the person to whom you're sending the letter. So to. I have an example here, baby candy red woman rocks at gmail.com. By the way, people, when you're going into the world of work, please have a formal email. A formal email is just your name, first, last name, or just your name and a number or something to that effect. Don't put redwomanrocks at gmail.com or baby I candy I too cute.com. No. Be formal. Just your first and last name, or your first name and a number at gmail or at yahoo.com. All right? Good. So a little there on that. So after your from and then your to, we will have your CC. So you're copying this letter to someone. You're writing this email, and you're copying this email here to someone else. So let's say I am the teacher, and I am sending Miss Candy her report card for the first term. So I am copying the letter to the school I am from so that they can have a copy of what the email was about. And then there's something called the blind carbon copy. The blind carbon copy is someone you want to also receive a copy of the letter, but they are not going to be seen. So when I'm sending this letter, I'm sending this email to both Candy and Candy's mother, right? So I'm attaching a blind copy to Candy's mother, babycandymom at gmail.com. Again, it's not so serious. I don't know the right email, but I'm just giving you an example of what I'm talking about here. So the blind copy means that when Candy will see the email in her email box, right, or her inbox, she would not see that a copy of this letter was also sent to her mother. This is very important because sometimes CXC can ask you to attach a copy of the letter secretly to someone. And that's where you use your BCC. All right? Good. Then after that, you have to put the subject of the email. The subject of the email is what you're writing this email for. This email is Samantha Cartel's report card as a subject. So I'm going to write, Dear Miss Cartel, introduction, body, and then I'm closing. So this I want to pay attention to this here. The closing is as a result of what your opening was. So if the opening is someone you actually know, if you address a person by their name, it means you know them. If you say, Dear Miss Cartel or Dear John or whoever you know, then you have to use a complimentary close, yours sincerely, and then you sign, right? So I'm saying use yours sincerely when you know the person you're addressing. Or you're going to use yours faithfully if you did not use a person's name at the dear sir or madam position there. So you're using yours faithfully when you use dear sir or madam. Sure you got that? Let me go it one more time. What I'm saying is that you're using yours sincerely when you have used the person's name. If you do not know the person's name, in other words, you started the letter with dear sir or madam, you are using yours faithfully and then you sign your name. So I've looked at what a simple format is for both a business letter and the email. Now we're going to look at a sample question that you can possibly see in the CXC exam. This is taken from the CSEC English syllabus, and I'm going to give you a model answer and explain further both the format and the language techniques that you are required to do. So here you are in the exam, and they're telling you that you should take about 35 minutes to get this question done. Really, that's easy, no big deal here. So you're told that you purchased an item from a supermarket. On arrival home, you noticed that the expiry date has passed. You attempted to return the item, but you were told that it was on sale, and the manager refused to give you a refund of the purchase. So you are to write a letter to the Consumer Protection Group or to the editor of a newspaper in which you complain about the quality of the product and treatment you receive. So that's what they're telling you have to do. CX is going to give you a vague situation there, and you're going to put in the details, right? So your letter will be assessed on how well you format your letter, how you select the relevant and complete information, organize and express the information in the letter, and of course, grammar, sentence construction, vocabulary, spelling, punctuation, etc. And a question like this will be for 30 marks. It must be in continuous prose. Continuous prose just simply tells you one thing leads to something else. So it must be sequential. You can't start by saying you want a refund and then go on to talk about how you how you got to where you were at, and then go back to tell us that you were hungry, that's why you went to the supermarket to buy. No, let us know the process. So you went, you bought something, you got home, you noticed it was expired, you attempt to return it. When you return it, what happened? A continuous prose. One thing leads to something else. So you're in the exam on the day you're writing CXE English, and you'll have your paper in front of you. You would see something like this. One little box, a blue box that says you may make notes here, but this will not be assessed. It will not be marked. Then on the flip side of that page with the box, you will see lined spaces where you can actually write your exam response. So do not write your entire letter in the box. People have seen this. The letter doesn't go in the box. The letter goes on the line. All right, so put your letter on the line. If you put it in the box, it won't be marked. Simple put. So you were given a situation where you had to write a letter to the editor or to the customer service group. I chose to write to the customer service group. In this sample, we are going to show you the format as well as how you can format your paragraphs of the letter. So the format of the first address, as you can see, 123 North Pole Avenue, comma. You have to punctuate your address. So the first address is your sender's address. If the sender address has 2 lines, then you put the full stop after the second line. All right? Then your address, after the address, would be the date. The date has to be written out in full. 12th of December 2014. Do not write 12/12/2014. Write it out in full. Then I have the second address or the receiver's address. Who am I writing a letter to? To whom is the letter written? The manager, if you had the manager's name, you would have put that above the manager. So let's say Jamain Hatton. Manager, where is this? Food and Drug Agency. Where is the Food and Drug Agency? It's at 10 North Pole Avenue, Georgetown. Then I put dear sir or madam if I don't know the person's name. If I know the person's name, like you would think, the person's name would go there. Then I have the reference line. The reference line is a vague statement about the reason for writing a letter. This letter is a complaint against the cheap and sweet supermarket. So just simply put that. So this is your traditional block. This is your traditional indented format. All right. If your teacher told you or taught you to use the block format, by all means, go ahead. It really is the same thing, pretty much. Then you have your introduction and then your body of the letter. So the introduction is just going to give you more details as to why the letter was written. I write to complain against the cheap and sweet supermarket address from which I purchased a box of cereal on October 10, 2014. I have 2 areas of concern: the treatment I received and the quality of the product. This item I purchased was on sale and I paid $8.45 for it. On arrival home, I realized that the product was expired since May 2012. I returned the product with the bill number, totally making up that bill number, and was directed to speak to the supervisor. He quite rudely said that it was my duty as a customer to check any product I wanted to purchase. Said, since I was dissatisfied with the response, I went to the manager. This is what CXE wants to see. Continuous prose. One thing is leading to something else, which leads to something else. All right? I explained that the issue I explained the issue and expressed my dissatisfaction to the manager. I also requested a refund, but he too told me that I should have checked the item before making the purchase. In addition, see your link words there? Good, use link words. In addition, he said that the product, that they had a policy of no exchange or no refund on sale items. He promised to speak to his colleague and then dismissed me and went to the telephone. Don't put details that are not important. Don't go on to the color of the telephone or the color he was wearing. That's not important. Only put details that will help your case. All right? So I have a concluding paragraph here now, and in your concluding paragraph, you would want to give a recommendation or a suggestion, and as well repeat the reason for writing the letter. All right? So I believe this treatment is unjust and would like you to intervene to rectify the matter. If such a thing is allowed to continue, someone will get hurt, food poisoning. The nation's health depends on your swift action. Yours sincerely, yours faithfully, Judea Daw, Sister Judea Daw. Judea Daw was a student of mine many years ago, so I am using her name here. Very good student, very, very bright and talented. So this is an example of what the letter is about. Right, so you can see a nice format of moving from one thing to another thing to another thing, and then you close. Like I've said in the few slides above, if you have the person's name to whom you're writing a letter, you would use yours sincerely. If you don't have the person's name, you will use faithfully yours to complement that dear sir or madam. As you will see now, the format of the email is pretty much similar. All that is different is now you put the email addresses of who you're sending it to. So we start with the sender's email address first. So from Sister Judea Daw, remember she was the person writing a letter. Good. So Sister Judea Daw now is writing this email. And then we're sending a letter to the Food and Drug Agency at gmail.com. Make it up if you have to make it up. I'm attaching a copy of the letter to the supermarket in question. So CSEC can ask you to attach a copy to a certain person. And I'm going to attach a blind copy to the Ministry of Health for Guyana at gmail.com. This means that no one else, I am sending the letter to someone or the person I attach, will be able to see who is blindly copied to the letter. So the Ministry of Health would see the letter, but they will not know that the ministry saw the letter, right? So CS is going to give you a nice question. They ask you to blind copy or secretly copy the letter to a certain person. And then everything else here remains the same, like I've written before. So as you can see here, this takes on that nice block format that some persons might have been taught in school. So homework, you have to get homework. Good. So take some practice and write this letter here. So you're given a situation where you have to write a letter now based on all the details that they would have given you, right? So they're telling you again, your letter would be assessed based on how well your format, how you will use relevant information given, and of course grammar, vocab, and so on. Again, must be in continuous prose, right? So go ahead and have this practice. In your exam, if they can use the word email instead. So write the email. If they say write an email, then you would format it like you have learned here how to write the email. If they say write a letter, you know what the format of the letter is. Good. That's all the time we have today. Goodbye.